Alrighty, I think that should do it. Hey guys! Hey! Hi! It's me! Hi! It's Techchenko. How you guys doing? Hey, what's going on? I've adjusted sound settings. Last time I noticed, the music might be a little bit, louder than, my better mic settings. So, I went in and I turned it down. It was somewhere over here. I turned it down now. If I feel like it's not like, if I feel like it's still getting loud or too soft, I don't know. I'll go in and adjust either here or elsewhere. There's a couple different places I can look to make the sound a little bit better. But that all depends on you guys. I don't believe there'd be anybody watching this live, but hey, if you're on the VOD end, just let me know. Hey, if it's too soft or too loud, one way or the other, my voice, the game audio, you know. Even if it's not, even if it's like everything sounds great for the first time, I have zero complaints about the sound. Just fucking drop a comment, why don't you? It's not even like an engagement thing, because like I just like I won't know. I won't know if it's good or not unless somebody fucking tells me. So don't be too shy with it, eh? Anyway, it's something of a day to day. I was debating even whether or not I was actually gonna stream today because I had a fuller day, let's say, than normal. And I would talk about it, but it just feels kind of gauche to just like to talk about a different. No, yeah, you know what? I'm only coming in like that, so let's do that. Yeah, okay. It would feel kind of gauche of me to be like talking about a different job while doing this one. And it's not even really a job, but still. I don't know. I even knew it was coming, and when you know you're gonna have like an extra full day, like a day so full you're not even gonna get to be able to do all of the like some of the stuff that you normally would be able to. Knowing ahead of time actually really helps a lot, because then you can just mentally prepare for like, okay, well, you're gonna miss out on some stuff. It really does help. Gets you to buckle down and tough, just dug it out, I guess. I don't know. This feels like it's running away from me, so I'm gonna go in. Today I have planned no story advancements, no main story advancements. Every time we're like, hey, why don't we? Oh shit! Damn it! I said no story advancement. All right. Oh, what's another Bazett one? Woof. Okay. Do I? Damn it! I don't technically. Oh, by the way, I've been so busy today. That's why I'm reusing these. I'm reusing one. I made them. I feel like I should be able to reuse them whenever I want. Anyway, I awaken from the darkness. It's October 8th again, as usual. We're back at the start. Let's see. My master is still asleep, as I thought. Beautifully defenseless as always, in a way that arouses nearby men, namely me. She looks like a normal girl when she's sleeping. Whenever I see her like this, I get no overwhelming urge to really go to town on her. It's probably because she's always wearing that armor when she's awake. Thinking of her in terms of that rule of 10, the woman sleeping here is so peaceful after subtracting 10 from 23, a mere brat of 13 might be on the cusp of puberty. Right on the cusp of puberty. And with that in front of me, it would be weird if the urge to... Oh, to play a prank on her, okay. You sure are a kind of guy, the Avenger. But, well... That's not time for that. This time, Bazett did a good job. Using my Noble Phantasm and Bazett's Mystic Code together to maximize effect, we defeated master after master. In the end, we even crushed Saber, who, up until now, had turned the tables on us every time. Verga Vesta, false copy of inscribed creation. My noble phantasm, which sealed Saber's movements away by inflicting a fatal wound. Or at least, it seemed like one on her. The trick behind it is this. It's a curse of retribution. A curse that inflicts the victim's wound upon the attacker as well. If I were slashed across the chest with a sword, then my opponent would feel the same pain. And if my arm were cut off, my attacker would lose feeling. In the arm as well. It's a passive noble phantasm to the end, but it has the huge point in its favor of ensuring that retribution will be carried out no matter what. It also sucks with limited health, but whatever. Originally, this sort of reversal curse only had the effect on heroic spirits with strong magic resistance. Had hardly any effect, sorry. Against one with magic resistance as strong as Saber's, it should, on the contrary, just make the damage to me even worse. But once the conditions for us are met, Verga Vesta will completely ignore its target's magic resistance. There are just two. It can be used only once against the same target. And the one who cast the curse must not have died yet. When I told Bazett about my noble phantasm, she said, "Keeping yourself alive really is your specialty. With a noble phantasm like that, nobody should be able to kill you." And got angry for some reason. It was as though she was saying she couldn't forgive a guy who dwells in such a perfect safe zone. But it's nothing so convenient as that. Verga Vesta isn't the kind of noble phantasm that invokes itself. I have to carefully determine the right time to use it. It's a spell, so someone has to actually be around to cast it. Oh, in other words, instant death would be bad? How very insightful. It should somehow go without saying, right? I can't reflect the curse back on the attacker if I'm dead. Sorry I jumped to a conclusion again. Your noble phantasm is certainly difficult to use. You said it. If what I have it reflect is just a shallow wound, then the damage to the opponent is small. On the other hand, if I try and take serious damage, I could die the instant I receive the injury. That's at least accurate. The preparations I had to make use of this are difficult for sure, but what's really important is that it's impossible to kill the enemy with Verga Vesta, that's true. I can't even aim for a simultaneous strike with this. I can return wounds up to the point where they don't kill me, but I can't lay a scratch on them if I'm already dead. Therefore, about the best I can hope for is to take a nearly fatal wound and somehow survive long enough to send it back to my attacker. It's a really roundabout way of doing things. But it was more than enough for me this time around. That's because I got a master with an ace up his sleeve that equals the power of a noble phantasm. A quasi-noble phantasm. It'd be a mistake to call it that. It's one of the few. I'm going to stop doing that when he's not talking. It's one of the few that, after the passage of untold millennia, has remained in the present day. A genuine noble phantasm. The noble phantasms of servants are just objects that they owned while they lived, and they are nothing more than lost legends today. But Bazett, no. Those of the Frogra bloodline have stubbornly kept charge of and handed down that sword until the present day. Frogrock's abilities are those of a simple ray of light, but its additional effects are truly interesting. It can't be evoked for use simply through being charged with magical energy. Rather, it's an interception armament specialized solely in countering. It won't be awakened unless faced with an opponent's greatest attack. As soon as the enemy starts that attack, Frogrock will activate itself on them before they can finish it. Frogrock is an attack with the power to go against the flow of time. As for the result of its use, like how Saber went down for your answer. Once it comes down to a face-off between two noble phantasms, nobody can stand up to Bazett. If there's another noble phantasm out there that can beat it, it'd need more than just speed or strength. It would need to have something that it could use to undermine Frogrock's special characteristic. As far as I know, nobody with a freaking ridiculous noble phantasm like that. Well, except for that one bastard, maybe. I'm repeating myself, but in a fight between noble phantasms, Bazett is pretty close to a god of war. The rest is simple. I use my noble phantasm to its maximum effect to pave the way for her. I drive the enemy serpent into a corner and leave them using their own noble phantasm. And after I do, it's showtime for Bazett. The timing of Frogrock's invocation or the difficulty of activating it are of no concern to me. Whatever kind of pain and hardship is felt by the body of a human taxed with bearing a cursed sword from the age of gods, it makes no difference as far as I am concerned. As it's never made so much as one wrong move in all this time. As a partner, that's probably the part of her most worthy of praise. Next to that, she was even able to beat Saber. Only the Einsburn Master remains. The last ticket to Bazett's heart's desire is almost within her grasp. Man, the fact that things have gone this smoothly means that we have the odds about as high as the stars in the night sky on our side. To put it bluntly, there's about a 1 in 4,000 chance that it would turn out so well. That's about the number of stars that can be seen with the naked eye. Still, that doesn't change the fact that we gotta start over from scratch again, does it? Bazett's eyelids begin to flutter. She takes a pained sounding breath. But then, as though relieved, lapses back into calm silence. Should be another 20 seconds or so before she wakes up. Well then, once she's awake, she'll be itching for a fight. So I guess I'll hide myself in the corner where I can shake and tremble in fear. If I try messing with her like usual, there's a very good chance she'll send my head into a permanent vacation from the rest of my body. I guess this is the time I'll be able to see her clearly. Scratching my head at the trivial but lingering attachment I'm feeling, I retreat to the safe zone. My consciousness slowly returns. Overwhelmed with a fatigue so heavy that my body feels made of lead, I take another deep breath and feel fulfilled. I've repeated this ritual countless times now, rebirth after rebirth. Once again I returned from that horrid abyss of death and came back here. No, it shouldn't be the case. Why again? Even though I was certain I defeated Saber this time. Even though they didn't beat us, we didn't lose, not even once, and yet... After a rebirth, my eyesight is always fuzzy for a while. I survey the unlit room. Angromagno is not in his usual chair. He's off in a corner of the room fiddling with that puzzle. Yo, looks like you're up, master. How does it feel to have your life restored? Same greeting as always. Like every time we return to this night after a defeat. I confirm the usual matters with him. Avenger. What am I... Oh, rather... What are we doing here? We beat Saber. The day ended, and after that... I have no memories after that. I have no memories of the fourth night after defeating Saber. After that, we came back here. You should already know why. You've experienced it so many times already, after all. He appears no more than a shadow, almost hidden from view. All I can sense of him is his presence in the room. And he's grinning, the laughing face of a demon that delights in watching human torment. Angromagno, answer me. What is going on? We beat Saber and Rider, and Assassin and Caster and Archer. The only one we have yet to take out was Einsburn's Berserker. So why? Why are we back here at the first day again? I slam my fist into the sofa. My body's still stiff from rigor mortis, moves through the force of my anger alone. My servant, Angromagno, hasn't moved from the corner of the room. He remains there, gazing at me as he grins. Why will you not answer me? You are my servant, are you not? Your role is to cooperate with me so that we may fight and win together. So what is this? Irritation and disappointment sent the words rushing out of my mouth like water through a burst dam. Well, of course. I knew from the start that this servant was not to be trusted. I don't know why I'm letting myself feel so disappointed. There's no need to ask why, Master. I seem to remember already telling you this, but the two of us can infinitely continue this Holy Grail war. Just as we defeated Saber, the fourth day ended and everything went back to how it was before. Every time you die, someone else gets the Grail, or the fourth day ends and we return to this night. No exceptions. As long as we're part of this Holy Grail war, we keep repeating these 4 days. Well, knowing all of that then, why would you ask a question like that now, huh, Master? Pretty selfish of you, wouldn't you say? You've cheated death again and again and returned to this night each time. Every time you lost, you get to start over with a clean slate, so I'd appreciate it if you'd spare me the complaints, alright? Because after all, you've gotten through by relying on that convenience of that questioning it all along. I'd say now's not the time to start doubting it. Wicked laughter. My knees fall to the floor as I attempt to stand up. I still can't move my legs. How pathetic. Between my body without proper blood circulation and my personality that lets Avenger rile me up so easily, I feel about as cool and composed as a child. Avenger, let me get this straight. It doesn't matter whether we win or lose. When the fourth night comes, we'll automatically be sent back to this night. In exchange for being protected against death in these 4 days, we can only live in these 4 days. This is the rule of the immortality that I've obtained. You got it. Way to get right to the point. Come to think of it, I really ought to have told you that right from the start, eh? My servant begins whistling in an entirely exaggerated display of high spirits. Of course, an explanation like that doesn't begin to solve this riddle. There's still a veritable mountain of questions I need to ask him. First of all, why does this reset happen every 4 days? Is that the limit of your powers? Who knows? I don't understand the reasoning behind it myself. Sure, it's a good thing that it wasn't every 1 day instead, am I right? Is it possible for us to get past the 4th day without relying on a noble phantasm? Who knows? And anyway, it's not my noble phantasm. A special privilege granted to you who made the contract with me. You're the one who decides what we do, not me. In that case, we need to win the Holy Grail War within these 4 days, right? Once we do, it'll mean the end of this phenomenon too, correct? Who knows? I haven't tried it yet. Though it sure would be nice if it did. The way things are going, we'd be stuck in these 4 days until I don't know when. I grit my teeth. There's no use in talking to Avenger if he can't answer my questions. Or rather, he doesn't feel like giving me any serious answers. We'll be stuck in these 4 days until I don't know when. Up until now, I thought all I needed to do was win against the others without dying myself. The reality of it is, as long as I'm restricted to within these 4 days, they become a boundary that I cannot move beyond. 4 days. Whether or not I can defeat the other masters in 4 days. I can't. Not in only 4 days, no matter what I do. I can't defeat 6 masters in 4 days. This time, no. Last time, when I beat Saber, I was at my limit. We got incredibly lucky in those last 4 days of battle. Of everything that these repetitions have taught us, that last time was just about as the most perfect conceivable playthrough possible. And even then, we haven't been able to reach Einsburg. However, I make my way through them. At the very end of these 4 days, a single enemy still remains. So do I need to change my methods? No, it's just as idiotic. I wait for the other masters to come and find me and try and take me out. My 4 days will run out just like that. Even if I fought to the furthest limit of my strength, it wouldn't be able to make a difference in the end. In the first place, I only have 3 uses of Frog Rock available for head-to-head fights like the one against Saber. 1 I need to use against Einsburg, and 1 against Saber. So the last one I should use on a servant that can't be separated from their master? No. When I've tried to fight like that, I didn't even make it past the 2nd day. Moreover, the other masters aren't our only opponents. That swarm of unknown familiars and the mage controlling them. Say that by some unthinkable miracle we were able to win the war. Even after that, we still have this 8th enemy who we've never seen so much as seen before, with their sights on the Grail to get rid of. What a fuss. Things like this is almost as though I'm fighting solely for the sake of continuing the Holy Grail War. As long as my contract with Avenger is in effect, I can never move beyond these 4 days. Hold on, I wanna... Shit. Come on. Can I... Yeah, okay. Certainly defeated Saber, beat us. Storage, what are we doing? Beat Saber and Rider and Assassin and Caster and Archer. No mention of Lancer. I think she still thinks she's in like a normal Grail War. It's, yep, it's a contract. So in that case, I need to break that contract. What's up, Master? Something on your mind? No, I just felt a little dizzy all of a sudden. It hasn't been that long since I reincarnated, after all. No, that's the one thing I can't do. When there's only one solution. Abiding by the terms of my contract with Avenger, I must win this Holy Grail War. Even though I already know it's impossible, I must destroy the fetters that bind me to these 4 days. That's all your questions? Oh, and here I was all ready for you to really let me have it. Shadow's smile hasn't left his face. He's getting on my nerves. That guy's been completely lacking in motivation from the start. Even though he's the one who brought me out here, he acts like he doesn't care a thing for the war. He keeps saying stuff like, all I need to do is kill enemies, right? Without any clear goals, he's just going along with it. He's going along with the Holy Grail War without paying the slightest mind to my troubles. It's like he's just enjoying this fighting that goes on forever. That's right. You already said it before, didn't you? Let's continue this war. Not let's start it or let's end it. You said let's continue it. Oh wait. That's right, you already You said let's continue it, didn't you? I'll remind you. Avenger's abilities gave us these 4 days. Does that mean everything is just going the way Avenger wants it to? The repetition of these 4 days occurs because of this man's wish to continue the fighting and killing. Avenger, I already asked you this, but our enclosure within these 4 days is not something you created purposefully, correct? It's only a side effect of resurrecting your master each time? Yeah, resurrecting the dead on the spot isn't one of my powers. All I can do is return everything to the starting point. As long as you have this contract, Master, you will never die. As for why these 4-day limit, I don't know either. Maybe that Einstein Master though. They're the ones in charge of the Holy Grail, so they can know all about the trick behind our solution too. The words that Avenger, that Angramayni speaks are without falsehood. He's telling me the truth, or at least that's what I want to believe. Avenger, what will you wish for on the Holy Grail? When I asked you before, you gave a nonsensical answer, but in truth, the state of affairs itself is what you wish for. I swallowed those words down, unspoken. Can't go saying that now. I have no proof that it's true. And besides, I have a hunch that the moment I speak those words, from that moment on, he and I will be enemies. My wish hasn't changed. What about yours, Master? What do you wish for once we win this Holy Grail War? Or, even before that, what kind of wish was it that brought you here to Fuyuki City? Huh? The smile has disappeared from the Shadow's face. From out of the shadows, Avenger's eyes bore into mine, his face deadly serious. No. What was I gonna wish for exactly? A wish. My wish. I don't possess such a thing. If you forced that out of me, I'd probably say that to win the war and obtain the Holy Grail is my goal. No, but that's wrong. The moment I think that, dizziness assails me. There's something I'm searching for, something I want even more than the Holy Grail. Hey, just what the heck are you looking for? I can't remember. My memory is still shaky at best. For real? Are you even sure there was something in the first place? I fixate my glare on the shadow. The blood is finally returning to my numb legs, and I find I can move them freely again. I've had enough of our pointless chat for now, Avenger. Racking my brain trying to figure out as a servant is worth my time, so I'll just pretend my first impression was right for now. You out. What a pity. Just when I thought you were getting all nice and cozy, I'm right back to guilty until proven innocent in your book, huh? If it bothers you so much, then maybe you shouldn't be so... No, it's just that I need to be on my guard. Avenger, starting tonight, we're changing our strategy. To win this Holy Grail War, we must figure out what's causing your ability to be limited to a period of 4 days first. There's no possible way we can win this war in only 4 days. In that case, we just need to find out why everything ends on those 4 days have passed. I see. You're pretty sharp, Master. Just one question. How do you propose we do that? You're talking about investigating something that you and I don't have a clue about. Why, you yourself already figured out how we'll do it. It'll be a suicide mission, but it's definitely worth trying. And besides, cheating death is the one useful skill we have. I have to do whatever it takes. With the situation the way it is, I can't trust him. That's why I need to find someone else who knows Angramainu and the other heroic spirits better than they know themselves. Hey, wait up, I was only joking before. Let's not do this and say we did. How about that? You gotta be crazy wanting us to launch ourselves face first at the enemy stronghold like that. I'm telling you, we're setting ourselves up for a whole trip to a world of pain. Whether or not that's how he really feels, Angramainu is opposing me with all his might. The way he's looking at me with those pleading eyes, I can't help but think he looks like a puppy. And I'll admit, somehow charming. But I'll be damned if I let his calculated attempt to gain my sympathy throw me off track. My decision is firm. Make the preparations, Avenger. Our destination is the forest on the outskirts of town. By this day tomorrow, we should reach the Answan Castle. Shouldering Rock with the disgruntled Angramainu in tow, with the mansion behind me. Force of habit guides my hand to my pocket, and I tightly grip the earring inside it. Please, may good luck be with me. That is the end of our struggle. In the end of our struggle towards that winter castle, I may find the answer I seek. All right. Oop. Once again, I had a dream to do with me. Now I have a headache, probably caused by my irregular schedule of going to sleep and waking up at different times. It's just before 6 o'clock in the morning. The light coming through the window is a little bit bright, and the breeze seeping through the gaps is a little chilly. Now the Holy Grail War is happening at night. City Fuyuki meets its end on the fourth day. A newcomer that did not exist until now has appeared. These incoherent thoughts pop in my head for a moment and then disappear without a trace. Even though I've never seen or heard these things before, it's as if a runner next to me is telling me that they're fictitious yet real. Alright, I should get started and shake off my odd delusions. The only dream I had last night was one about preparing for the cultural festival, but I didn't have any other strange dreams. Dum. Sky is bright and clear. I'll go spend another day selfishly filling up an empty room. I'll go on ahead then. Oh wait, I'll go on ahead then. You too, Shiro. Sakura-chan, make sure you're not late. Fujini hurriedly takes off for work. The time is just past 7 o'clock. The atmosphere at the table usually takes on a carefree air when she leaves, but today, a dangerous topic is what brought up. Senpai, lately it feels like there's something wrong with this town. Could this... You mean it feels the same during the Holy Grail War? She already knows all about that. It's been several days since that atmosphere in town has changed. Saber and Ryder got an inexplicable urge to fight. Despite having brought the topic up, eventually we decide that since we don't know anything, everybody should just investigate at their own pace. Sakura, it's about time to leave for school. You're right. Thank you, Ryder. I'll clean up right away. No, Shiro and I will take care of cleaning up. You can... Seems like we have a guest. I'll get the door. Could it be that newspaper solicitor again, perhaps? If that is the case, it'll be quite the burden for Sakura. Ryder stands up with a sense of bloodlusts drifting slowly through the air. Seems like the problem with frequent soliciting has gotten particularly bad around here. Oh no, there's no need, Ryder. If it is the newspaper guy, Sakura's victory is all but certain. Being her field of expertise, interrupting her might actually end up badly. Is that so? Then I shall just watch carefully. Is it really true that Sakura is well prepared to deal with that sort of issue? She's amazing, actually. Champion rank. But she did say that it's hard when someone you know is nearby, so we should leave her alone for now. Let's just quietly wait for... Wait for her to come back was what I was going to say. Total time required, 30 seconds. Having already repelled the overly persistent salesman, our champion... Hey! I'm back from Extra. You guys look the same as ever. Huh? Our champion has come back. Uh-oh. What's with everyone stiffening up all of a sudden? Ah, could it be I've gotten a wicked ghost or something haunting me behind my back? Oopsie, I did try to make sure they were all exercised before departing. I guess leaving it to the first years to save money was not a good idea. I liked your jacket, Rin. Tosaka Rin mutters something disturbing. Behind her stands an embarrassed-looking Sakura. So, what kind of ghost do I have behind me? The long, black-haired the long, black-haired out from beneath the willow grudge holding type? Just how much of that was intentional? The air feels too tense for it to be a joke. Oh no, Nissan. There are no ghosts haunting you. I'm right behind you, so I can assure you of that. Oh, that's good. I felt like a pretty strong stare. I was getting worried. I see. So it's just Sakura behind me. Sorry, I guess ghosts weren't the problem after all. Yes, if it were me, I'd rather talk it out rather than hold a grudge. Don't get uppity after having just appeared out of the blue, I'd say. You sure got gutsy in just 1 month, Mato-san. You too, senpai. You look like the head of the household after being away for a month. Oh boy. The affectionate sisters laugh. Scary. This is definitely scary. We're all going to die. Ryda's shaking in her boots. The next time these two open their mouths, the Emiya residence will turn into a living hell. That's why I said that seeking help from London will end up in a worthless disaster. However, I'm the true master of the Emiya house. Can't allow Kiritsuga's inheritance to become these devil's battleground. That's enough, you two. Prepare to die an honorable death, with no one to pick up my corpse and get up from my seat. And anyway, how about we stop the joke around here, Sakura? Oh. And anyway, how about we stop the joke around here, Sakura? Yes, that was sort of in poor taste, wasn't it? Tick-tock, echoes the clock. My half-risen back stretched out an arm. I'm going to retake that one. My half-risen back and stretched out arm hang motionless in the air. What the fuck was that? Pretty good preemptive strike, right? Just some British humor that I tried reenacting with Sakura. Yes, when I went to greet her at the entrance, Nae-san claimed it would surprise you, senpai. They look really happy. When did these sisters get so chummy? Okay, got that. I'd like you to pick your jokes more carefully, but I'm glad it was to learn. I'm definitely glad to learn that it was just a joke. That aside, why are you here, Tosaka? A nod from everyone around. Saber's joined us. What do you mean, why? Just because there was an SOS sent out, of course. It's not like I'd come back just to play around. I'm busy enough as it is. An SOS? From who? From you, of course? I don't care what it is. Oh, I don't care what it is, just hurry up and help us. You wrote it down. You wrote so much it... From you, of course. I don't care what it is, just hurry and come help us. You wrote so much it sounded downright desperate. No way. Me? I might actually choose death if the only alternative was asking you for help. You can take my life, but you'll never take my soul. What a thing to say. What do you think I am, anyway? That line about taking souls makes it sound like I'm the devil or something. That's exactly it. Put your hands on your heart and think back. Remember the mess you made at Ilya's castle during the summer break? What would you call that, what would you call that miscreant if not a devil? It was an emergency. A tough decision had to be made. It's not like I sacrificed you because I wanted to, Emiya-kun. What? I guess even Tosaka thinks it was inexcusable. Her answer doesn't have much bite to it. That's good. Very good. Back then, I narrowly avoided being reborn twice. It looks like even Tosaka's reflecting on her actions. Well, anyhow. Anyway, so you're saying you got the SOS signal that I don't remember sending out and came back right away because of it? That's what I'm saying. Look, there's no way I could come back unless you asked me to, Emiya-kun. And you abandoned all your London matters. Yeah? Can you blame me? I couldn't help it, I was so worried. I couldn't sleep after reading that. Besides, Fuyuki is under my jurisdiction, so of course I would have come to see how things are going even if you hadn't asked. She turns her face away peevishly. Then, with her luggage in hand, she turns back to the hallway. At any rate, I'll be staying here for a while. Should you have anything to talk about, come to my room around nighttime. I'll go have a look around town during the day for you two. See ya. She rushes to leave the scene. That's how it is. So be nice, everyone. It seems like Ness sounds a bit embarrassed about having to come back halfway through. Saber and Ryder, who haven't had the time to digest the situation just yet, simply nod. I see. Now that Rin's here, everything ought to be settled soon. Elise stares off into the distance, seeming somehow lonely. I haven't settled on whether to rejoice or panic just yet. What I do know for sure is that another missing piece has just fallen into place. Anyway, Tosaka's back. Yay. Oh, it's just Rin's room. Okay. I was gonna say like I'm feeling like tired, so let's leave it until like the next decision. This is hardly a decision. Frankly, I'm not sure why they didn't just lead me straight in. Rin's room. Hey Tosaka, I got something to ask you. Oh, there's some kind of response. I can't really make out what it is. Sorry, what was that? Jeez, what is it? The door isn't locked. As I raise my voice, an annoyed response comes from inside the room. For some reason, Tosaka seems to be in a bad mood. Is it really safe to open the door? If I slip away after calling out to her, I don't want to think about what would happen to me afterwards. Wow, what a mess! Without exaggeration, Tosaka's room is so messy that there isn't anywhere to stand. Considering the number of days she's been back, this is truly astonishing. I hope the next sprite to greet me is the one of Tosaka pulling her own blood in a way that looks like she's doing drugs. Ah. What, did she come here to lecture me about it? Under Tosaka's glare, I can tell she's really in for a foul mood. No, that's not it. Well, what is it? As you can see, I'm busy tidying up. Uh-huh. Tidying up. Well, what could you possibly be trying to say, Emiya-kun? Whoopsie. Started out with what's on my mind. Right before me stands the Red Devil, smiling sweetly, wearing the mask of Tosaka Rin, the honor student. No, nothing. It was just a small matter anyway. Oh? In that case, could you leave it for later? Yeah, sorry for disturbing you though. I back away, making sure not to lose eye contact, and close the door. But, the ability to make that much of a mess with that while trying to tidy up still manage in the end. Okay. The ability to make that much of a mess while trying to tidy up and still manage it in the end is really a talent. Oh, okay, nighttime shenanigans. It's just after 9 p.m. and dinner's already over. There's no major... Oh, okay, yeah. Hang around the Emiya residence? Okay, so it's a choice now. You know what? No, it's not, because Rin's the only one there. So let's talk to Rin. We'll finish up this day, and then we'll call it, because I'm tired. And I'm clearly faltering. So let's ask Tosaka for advice. I'm going to talk about the current situation. Seeing as Tosaka came back right after hearing about the abnormality, I should ask her take on things. Yes, I had a quick look around the city. As far as I can tell, there's no easy way to deal with this. So tell me what you know, Emiya-kun. As if she was prepared well in advance, Tosaka cuts right to the chase. Well, that sure makes it easier for me. I do have one question first. Say, Tosaka, what about Archer? Now that you're back, is he on standby around here? I've cut ties with Archer. We're no longer master and servant anymore in the first place. What? Really? What do you mean? You just revoked the contract? More like it got revoked. After the Holy Grail War ends, the contract is normally cancelled. By the servant, that is. While Ryder and Saber seem to be content as they are, that guy had other things on his mind. So we're no longer cooperating 24/7. Instead, we help each other out when it's needed and reciprocate. Kind of a give-and-take type situation. I'm still acting as the catalyst needed for him to stay in this world, but I've cut off the magical energy supply. Wait, But you already, but you already knew that since long ago, didn't you? Why are you asking about that again? That's right. That's the way things are with Tosaka and Archer right now. While he isn't staying nearby, he'll help her when she needs it, under certain conditions. I don't know what Archer is thinking when he chose to establish this kind of relationship, but I guess it wouldn't have worked out any other way. Continuing as Tosaka's servant is likely to produce some sort of definite contradiction. Emi-kun, what's wrong? Your face turned kind of scary there. I understand that you dislike Archer, but it's upsetting. Is it so upsetting just to talk about him? No, just a little dizzy. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Let's get to the main point. Tosaka, have you sensed anything strange while patrolling the town? Any uneasiness or places that feel weird? Can't say for sure. Well, I did think that something was off. I haven't really found anything. If you'll forgive me for using an abstract explanation, it's like every time I get the feeling that something's off, there's some sort of contrivance that kicks in and prevents me from being able to tell what that something is. The moment you become aware of the abnormality, it changes into something normal. Is that it? In other words, what looks to be normal really isn't. So then, if I were to assume that abnormal events that never took place in the original Fuyuki were the norm, it seems like you know something, Emi-kun. What happened while I was away? Nothing? I mean, nothing at all, but... where did I acquire all this extra knowledge? There is something I wanted to ask. I'm not even sure why I brought it up, but now that I have, after collecting myself as much as I can, I started explaining. The fight with Archer that hasn't happened yet. Saber's defeat at the hands of a master I've never seen. A story of Fuyuki City drawing to a close at the end of each 4th day. Let me make sure I've got this straight, Emi-kun. You know about these incidents, though you haven't seen them firsthand nor personally experienced that 4th day. Yeah, I just know about them, and now I didn't dream about them or hear about them somewhere either. And I know I haven't been. And yet you know, for some reason you somehow understand the incidents occurring in this town. But because the current Emi-kun doesn't know about them yet, you can't remember any of them. You're not starting over at that point either, are you? And since it only applies to you and not me, Sakura or the others, it also doesn't appear to be a Fuyuki-wide incident. No, it isn't that Fuyuki's the only in this state for 4 days, and you're the only one that can see the ones beside. Sorry. No, is it that Fuyuki's the only in that state for these 4 days, and you're the only one who can see the ones beside you? All I told her was at the end of the 4 days that I somehow know about it. The story of Emiyashiro, who cannot move beyond the 4 days. As if realizing something from just that, Tosaka's muttering to herself. I see. It's not a restart, it's a reappearance. That does explain why all the servants have gathered. In that case, not that everything's a lie, it's that there's one liar. Tosaka's stare is becoming sharper. Whatever she's thinking about, it can't be good. Tosaka? Did you figure something out from all that nonsense? That's right. If I were to talk about 1,000,000,000,000 steps back and look at your story and assume that I did, in fact, happened, then yeah, I did figure out the tricky there. So very reliable. The fact that she wouldn't believe it does hurt me a little though. Listen, what I'm about to say is based entirely on the gossip that I've heard just from you. It is absolutely, utterly, not even remotely related to town's abnormality. Got that? Yep, got it. No more than an empty, abstract theory. Before that, it's what we'd have if we tried to put some consistency into the nonsense that you're saying. Well, never mind. Now, where did I put my glasses? Tosaka retrieves a pair of glasses from her bag. It's been a while since I've seen her go into all-knowing Tosaka mode. That's cute. Now then, based on what you've told me, Emi-kun, it would seem that through the course of these 4 days, from October 8th to October 11th, there is something very wrong going on. Saber and Ryder have both stated the Lily Grail War was restarted. There's a problem, however. Do you see what I'm getting at? If the fighting has been resumed, someone has to be missing. That's right. If this were really a restart, then the participants who dropped out half a year ago wouldn't be here now. It may be odd, but there's also the part that explains itself. It must be that in this situation, during these 4 days, even if someone was here who shouldn't be, we'd be unable to determine who that was. That's why there's nothing wrong with the fact that everyone is gathered. No, not having everyone present would be odd. After all, this is a result of someone trying to reproduce the Holy Grail War that occurred in the past. Someone's trying to recreate the Holy Grail War? No, I mean, that much I understood from the start. So the guy who wants the Holy Grail is still trying to start the Holy Grail War? That'd be restarting. What I'm describing is reproducing. Let's say you want to restart. You'd prefer the servants that were defeated to stay that way, wouldn't you? And yet, we have all the servants present in this town. That's why, like it or not, this person wants to just reproduce the Holy Grail War. Just to fight. Just to continue fighting. Forever. And in order for that to happen, these 4 days include every possible scenario that could unfold. To keep it enjoyable no matter how many times it happens. You keep it feeling fresh every time. Ah, that's why. Come, let's continue the Holy Grail War. Those words were spoken? Hold on. Once the 4 days pass, this town goes back to normal, doesn't it? So why do I know what's going on? What's going to happen? Doesn't it seem like it's just me who returns to the first day? If you were returning, you'd have clear memories of it happening. I'm sure you're catching glimpses of yourself, Emi-kun. If I were to draw it, here's how it'd look like. Ooh. It's no parallel world for sure, since all possibilities have equal weight during the 4 days. You go like this. Assuming that an infinite number of mirror-like images of the participant known as Emi Ishiro exist, they're all running the same track, but at different times. Do you see it now? Yeah, I played one of those video game things while I was away. It's the same. A shooter, is it? The one with the third-person view, where you start over from the beginning when you die? The way the character sees it, there's no connection, but from the player's point of view, those lives all happen one after another. It's the same here. As long as the character exists, you get to start over even if you die. Totally new character, but the exact same traits and appearance, wouldn't you agree? That is precisely what's happening to you, Emi-kun. Osaka's metaphor is awfully impolite, but I get what she's trying to say. I guess that by the seeing the ones beside me thing she was muttering, she actually meant that seeing the player B that went ahead of me. It's the conclusion of a different playthrough that I know about. I haven't experienced it myself yet, but I can go, oh, player A got beaten by a boss here. I guess that's how you could put it. There's a lot I don't agree with, but as far as I'm making sense of it goes, I can live with that. So does it mean that if I take it easy, I should be able to get past the 4 days? But I think there's an Emi Ishiro that didn't get past. Even if you're a corpse by that time, the 5th day would still come. Neither Sakura nor I have the dreams that you do, Emi-kun, and it's quite clear that the town itself does not go back either. However, it's possible that, as an exception, should you fail to do something about the Holy Grail War yourself in 4 days, you will, in fact, end up dead. Heaven's Feel redo. That may be what you call an ill omen. My situation went from bad to downright scary. Hold on. Go back. Okay, it doesn't have a time. I thought I saw something different up here. So when it said Heaven's Feel redo, I thought it was like, oh, it's something, the Fate redo or something. This might be what you call an ill omen. My situation went from bad to downright scary. I understand why I know weird things now. But how does one reproduce the Holy Grail War? Can this one guy that wants the Holy Grail do sorcery like that? If you have the ability to do something like that, you could probably just make your wish happen in the first place. Oh, come on, I told you. Their wish has come true already. They aren't reproducing it because they want the Holy Grail. They're doing it because they want to continue killing. In other words, I see. It's the other way around. That was the wish. Assuming they have the Grail and that their wish to reproduce the Holy Grail War has been granted already. Exactly. If we assume that this was someone's wish, the only way to stop it is to defeat the owner of the Grail. Well, if we do have any suspects at all, be the people that did not participate in the previous Holy Grail War to begin with. That's a pretty simple conclusion. Anyone that has recently popped up in the scene is under suspicion. As for me, I was not around until now, but I am a part of this town to begin with, and thus can be excluded. Was there anyone that was not here half a year ago? They'd be the culprit behind this whole incident. Were there anyone? Whatever. Say, Tosaka, I do actually know one such character that fit the bill, but I think. Problem is, it looks like I die every time I meet her. Seems like we still don't have a way to solve it. I'm getting tired of unrelated questions. Well, if we're getting killed every time, doesn't that mean that the way you meet her is in itself wrong? Listen, if you already know the best way to meet her in the first place it happened, then make it happen again with your own hands. I'm sure you can manage that, Amy-kun. What a fake, she keeps mumbling. I guess she doesn't believe any of it after all. Well, what do you know? There's actually another place I could meet the girl at. That time, if I remember right. Tosaka and the track and field archery clubs were all at the Ryudo Temple. I'll keep that in mind. My next objective is clear for the time being. Glad to be of help. So what do you do, Mikun? Are you going to go look for the Grail's owner? Well, to the extent of my abilities. For now, there's no real damage done, and it'll go back to normal once the 4 days pass, right? I'll deal with it somehow. Sorry to bother you. You get it from my seat. This has become a much longer conversation than I expected. For goodness sake. None of us ever had such dreams, so I can't verify any of this. For now, I played along and gave you a serious answer. But really, if you have the time to be retelling such wild delusions, you could at least use it to invite me to the pool or something instead. If you just keep using me whenever it's convenient for you, two can play at that game, you know? Yeah, she proceeds to give me a frightening bit of info with an equally frightening smile. Pool. The pool, huh? Alright. I'll repay this favor in a non-material way soon enough, so please do wait for it. Just don't expect too much. Much obliged. See you tomorrow, Tosaka. I leave the guest room behind. She does not answer right away. Instead, she sighs secretly and... Hey. It's great to have everyone together, isn't it? Her faint smile is a mirror image of my own mood, too. Yeah, it is nice to do that. Everyone gets to have a blast. Alright. I'm just going to take a look around. There's new there. So who do I want, right or against you? Anyway. That's not for the me of right now to worry about. Because I am falling asleep and faltering. And as much as I would like to push through, I don't think I can. I don't think I have that much in me left over. Although I do want to see... Hey, okay. Let's see. We'll go through some of these. To the 1,000 yen one. Hey, it's all the little chibis. That's cute. The Production Director's Caricature Series Part 1. If possible, I'd like to collect them all as life-size plushies. They are very cute. You are finally starting to lose it, huh? I think. Hold on. Back. Extra gallery. So if I go through here, can I just... No. Okay, damn it. Yeah. I think it's over here somewhere. Yep, there it is. I just want to take a look at the one. Yeah, because she has a little Pegasus in her thing. That's cute. I might use these for thumbnail stuff or the sidebar stuff. These are cute. Alright, anyway. That's it for me, guys. Because I am sleepy. Hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. make sure to take care of yourself and, sleep when tired. Your body knows when it needs to rest. So just listen to the body. Although sometimes you need to, instead of resting, sometimes what you need is like a full fucking blast workout routine. Anyway, hope you guys have a lovely rest of your week. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will see you next week. Later.